can't believe that the filming that I did this morning to make it seem super dramatic and like life is like always go, go, go during a moment where I was literally like, fuck, I gotta go, go, go. It went in slow-mo. I'm literally sitting here trying to edit. Check this bit out. I tried to speed it up. Radio. Trying to edit this video and trying to make it salvageable, not working. So what we're gonna do is something completely different. That was the great portion of failure at the start. Hope you enjoyed, but let's get into like to the seriousness. Like I tried to do a vibey kind of thing, it just did not work. So I'm just gonna lean into like how chaotic everything is and continue my messy, unhinged lifestyle, which I guess it goes well with who I am as a person, but I tend to be aesthetic once. Hi guys, I'm Ruth. I'm a 25-year-old from Brisbane, Australia. Checking my windows closed so I don't wake up my neighbours. I have toast on my mouth. Thanks for telling me. But there's been a lot going on. Neurodivergently, chronic illness-wise, I've got like a lot going on there. That will be in a separate video. And I was trying to work to get through financial strain that came from my chronic illnesses from 2022 to 2023 period, and the slow build up back to full-time work. And I was studying as well. I'm still studying. I'm just doing it a bit differently. And I'm not going to go full-time, and I'm going to find a job that's less physically straining and repetitive. And well, I've already found one. I just start next week. Physically straining, repetitive, like requires less. When I say repetitive, so it's less less manual handling tasks and less repetitive movements, but more repetitive in a way that's going to help with my ASD. And it's not going to be a new thing every day. It's going to be like pretty similar. A lot of the similar things in the routine, which is really going to help the ASD, I believe. So it's in a new field, which is going to take a learning curve, but I've slowed things down and I've gotten ahead with a few things. But the whole idea of this video was to teach myself to enjoy simplicity and to kind of point out the fact that if you're neurodivergent or you've got a chronic illness, or I think even just in general, to be honest, like the world is go, 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 and we're constantly stimulated, and it just kind of brings me back to like the early 2020s, like just straight after COVID, when there was a professional development going on, and someone goes, we have to teach these children to sit and just be. And I'm just like, okay. I was thinking, well, that's not realistic in life, that they don't have to sit and just be. We have a phone. That's the autistic mindset, isn't it? Oh my God. I just couldn't see the big picture. Now that I'm going through all this burnout and like this strain, I get it. I so get it. So how I did this was I kind of just started taking time in the mornings, getting rid of my phone and getting rid of anything that's playing or stimulating, and just sitting. I had to find something like to look at. So sitting at the couch and just looking out the window and looking at the birds and, people walking past really helped me. Although it would bring up a lot of the anxiety and the thoughts of worthlessness. It was really bad. So I had to start using my CBT therapy and those skills. But now I can just sit there for about 15, 20 minutes in a row and not have those thoughts come back. And I don't get hooked on them and feel the need to be like, oh, yeah, no, you're right. Everyone does hate me. The world would be better if I wasn't in it. So, yeah. That is an opinion, not a fact. Thank you, thought. Goodbye, thought. It might look and feel a bit silly at the start, but it really does help in the long run. I recommend. Having, just sitting down and just looking out the window and learning to sit and be still and not stimulated, that was one issue. The next part was sometimes cooking all the time and making decisions was really difficult. So I ended up just giving my sister free rein because I could not make a decision. When I was at work, I was go, go, go. When I got home, I'd be asleep in an hour. I wouldn't be able to make any decisions. I would study being completely mentally like whatever. When it got to the climax and I was like, no, I'm just done. I'm completely done. I'm completely wrecked. Making decisions was difficult. So I just froze everything. Anything I couldn't eat, frozen. And it just went into the freezer. Like we ended up with like a massively full freezer. You can't see it here because I didn't have the capacity at the time to film anything. So this is closer to the end where I'm like, okay, right, we're getting a bit better. Well, getting a lot better. And there were meals that I always had. There were common meals that were part of like the weekly roundup, and the flavors, like I knew they weren't extreme and they weren't powerful. So they were simple in the flavoring. They were foods that I was aware of, and I knew that was safe. If you've got EDs or ARFID or anything like that, like that's a big problem. You need to eat your safe foods, and that's part of it, rather than trying new things all the time. It can get really overwhelming. I've changed positions. I'm unmedicated ADHD. What's up? The other thing that happened was that while I was, at work, it started off as a really encouraging place, and they're like, yep, we'll just let you know when you need to pivot things, and, we're very inclusive here, so thank you for being honest about your struggles and how you're really, you come across and things are very difficult for you. Because, like, I've always been... It's kind of like the stereotype that women with ASD are just, But that's not the case. Like, it's genuinely, like, a lot of the times guys do it. ASD men are like that. I know because I'm very similar to my brother. When he does it, he's just ASD. When I do it, it's awful. So there's definitely, like, that. And maybe it's a little bit of, like, the recognition. Like, women weren't known to have ASD. They were completely overlooked. Every masked for survival. I find it very difficult to mask. It just depletes all my energy, especially with the chronic fatigue. Before my chronic fatigue syndrome and my fatigue levels, great. I was really, really good at masking, but I don't have that energy. Either I mask and I'm unconscious and unable to do anything for myself, including shower, or I unmask. And that's what it was like, especially in that job. I'm hoping that if I go to this next job, it's only 4 hours. 4 hours a day, 5 days a week. I still have everything part-time, same amount of money, like fantastic. A lot of work, more travel, a lot of work, so even, I'm getting very transfixed. Essentially, I was very much like encouraged and celebrated, and then, things changed. It's like people were like, I've been getting you to do this for ages. Why do you still need help? Well, things were getting worse because I was focusing on mental health and just trying to hold it together. That took a lot of my energy. Just let me know. Just take more time. Like, I was very honest that, someone died. That concept itself is really fucking hard for anyone, really. But I've in support groups and seeing they're doing stuff like that and like really talking to people in my online community, and they find it very difficult as well with, all my little acronyms. My acronymges is what I call it. But anyway, one of them just texted her. But yeah, and the changing of, you know, expectations and the changing of, I don't know how to say this. Basically, the rules changed, and it felt like there were different rules for different people. And the access that I once had was completely revoked. And the method in which they probably went around giving criticism, it really flagged my rejection sensitivity dysphoria, which, you know, I've got OCPD, which is very common with women with ASD. It's very common, is what I'm finding. But it was really difficult. Just the way that they went about it, not great. Any neurodivergent person can have rejection sensitivity dysphoria, so that includes your PTSD, your bipolar, your borderline personality disorder. I don't know, actually, is bipolar part of it? I think so. Or it might be the fact that they're both BPD and I've just gone boom. I need to have a look at the umbrella again of neurodivergence. This is what I'm talking about. You know, the umbrella of neurodivergence. Any one of those people can, like anyone with any of these, can have rejection sensitivity dysphoria. Taking criticism is hard for neurotypicals. When you've got a diverging kind of mental state, you can get really sensitive really quickly. And it doesn't matter if you're really quiet or if you're really loud. If you're neurodivergent and you know that they're neurodivergent, that you are probably going to have an RSD kind of moment. They are going to have an RSD moment if you go about things the wrong way. There was no consideration to that. So that was part of it. That was part of the struggle. So learning to simplify my life and kind of go through that was another barrier that I had to go through, like the worthlessness that led to SI and like my depression really sparking. Like I'm up more, like a higher levels of my antidepressants and stuff like that. But that's just part of the hassle and something I had to get through as well. I think part of something that I need to touch on is called passive. And that's like taking higher risks with no care. For example, I have to get to my old workplace, I'd have to walk down a quiet street, go down like a bit of a cul-de-sac, and then I'd have to go past a main road. A main road that was really busy on the times that, you know, we had to travel. It's business hours, traveling to get there. I wouldn't look both ways. I wouldn't look before crossing the street. I would just walk out. Because, you know, I can't act on these thoughts. I can't do my plan. But, you know, if an accident happens, like it was just my time. And that's something that, you know, not a lot of people talk about. It's those people who, you know, are functioning through life and they don't look depressed that everyone misses. Like sometimes there are these intrusive thoughts of like, oh, let's run into a tree. And then there are people who are fully sitting there going, radio, like if I don't, you know, like the comedian who goes, you know, I don't want to take my own life, but I'd like to die naturally soon. That's a form of passive suicide. He's joking about passive suicide. Like that's what the topic is. And that's what I was doing, like going down that main road, like taking ridiculous risks. Like, you know, as women, walking at night, not great. So we get taught from a young age, like don't walk at night. When the sun's down, you're inside. You need to be inside before the sun goes down. Our doors need to be locked and our blinds need to be covered before the sun goes down. I'd be like, fuck it, I'm going to go out. I'm going to unlock the doors. so stupid. But yeah, I'm going to unlock the doors just in case, someone comes through. Most of the time, like, it's fine. But, every woman has a story, which is like what we're talking about here. And I'm just like, well, I watch a lot of true crime. Someone snuck in through an open door. Like, let's go team. Which is, like, that was my mindset. That was what was happening. Like, anytime anyone gave me like a small amount of criticism, or like I was doing something and I remembered the criticism. And for a solid 4 weeks straight, there was no positive that came out of anyone's mouth. It was all negative. And I'm smiling because, like, I just, what the fuck? Anywho, like, that's part of it. And that's part of being neurodivergent. It's part of, everything. So that is why simplifying life, which brought us to the second part of simplifying life. I simplified my schedule. I simplified the foods I was eating. I simplified making decisions. I simplified not being stimulated all the time and being, on something, or, constantly talking, which was hard work for me. Really hard work if you know me. That was a lot of hard work. But another part of that was I needed to part of being overstimulated all the time was because of social media. Okay, so this took forever, but unfollowing. I ended up just unfollowing everyone unless you text me that day for connection, or, I saw your content heaps. So I'm like, no, I still find that funny. So like, I watched you last night. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not taking that away. Or no, you pop up all the time. So no, I'm not going to unfollow you. But unless you were part of my education, entertainment, or connection, and connection isn't just, oh, can you do this for me? Or thanks for doing that for me. It's, oh, I sent this, I'm going to send this meme and like a bit of a story of like, oh, like I've thought of you because like, remember that one time? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, you can stay. You can absolutely stay. So, if we connected a lot in person. So, for example, at work, I met one of my really close friends. She stayed while everyone else at work went because they didn't reach out and connect. They didn't connect in person. They didn't connect online. We don't have a connection. Let's have social media reflect that. And that reduced a lot of the overstimulation, the oversaturation. So it took me a few days, many days to get this done. And I really utilized the feature of I think it was either Instagram or TikTok. It had, you haven't interacted with these accounts, these users for a while. So I was like, if I haven't interacted with them, unfollow all of them. And if they pop up again, and I like them, go for it. But I might do this every quarter. This might be part of my trimester reset. So stay tuned to see if that happens, because that's going to be one of my plans. But yes, this is what I did. So, actually I want to get up and walk. So come with me. So yeah, that was part and parcel of what was going on. And it really did help me. Enjoying simplicity is one thing, but really taking the time to simplify your life, ballpark, massive change. And my mental health and, my burnout has gotten a lot better. And taking those steps, like, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to struggle, and it's okay to notice that you're struggling, and it's okay to make those decisions. And it doesn't matter if someone gets upset. Like, I got told yesterday that someone asked, oh, did Ruth unfollow everyone on Facebook? I was like, oh, well, send them this video. Like, I'm about to post it tomorrow. So if you're one of those people, like, I didn't inform you because I didn't want to cause a problem. And if you're sitting here going, like, I'm burnt out, I don't know what to do, I'm over it, like I was, and I was in tears, and there's no one really making content about, like, I had the experience. There's a lot of psychiatrists and psychologists going, like, here's all the information, clinical. That's unhelpful sometimes. So here's someone who's studying to be a psychologist in educational developmental psychology, but also lives the experience. I have got that very nice intertwine. So here you go. This is content that I was looking for. It wasn't, I'm not good at this. So welcome to a cringy video, or thank you for watching the cringy video if you got this far. That I hope helped someone and hoped guide people that are in my life going, why did she unfollow me? If you didn't connect, feel free to change that. If you connect, I'm gonna send a friend request again. I just don't know who's genuine and who's not. And the oversaturation was too much. So if you want to come and connect, come and connect. I'm happy for that. Here you go. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video and you found this helpful, either as an ally to ASD or people, as an ally to neurodivergence and special needs people, special and additional needs people, or as a special and additional needs person yourself, give it a like. Subscribe if you want more content like this, and leave a comment telling me what you want, because I really like this. This is quite fun, which I knew that it was quite fun. That's why people have encouraged me to do this for years. Anywho, bye.